Well, welcome back, everyone. You know, 2025 is the year of the snake, and here to give us a little bit of a history on that is Marie Walton from Johnny Appleseed. Welcome, Marie.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so let's start out with this beautiful creature that you have in your hands.
So this is Ohio's biggest snake. This is the gray rat snake. So they can grow to be about 6 to 8 feet long. He's young yet, so he's probably, if we stretched him out, maybe 5 or 6 feet long. And they eat, as their name implies, the rat snake eats a lot of rats and mice. So they're really good to have around. If you ever saw one in the wild, you would not have to be scared. They're not poisonous. They're not venomous. They don't hurt humans.
Okay.
They're just out there catching the rats and mice from your yard and keeping us safe from them.
All right.
They're really awesome animals, and all snakes are reptiles. So all reptiles have 3 things in common. I have a poster about reptiles. So all of these reptiles have 3 main things in common. The first being that they are cold-blooded or exothermic. That means they're the same temperature inside that it is outside around them. So exo means outside and therm means heat. So they get their heat from outside. They also, just like all of these reptiles, lay eggs. And I actually brought some snake eggs with me today. I don't know if you can see them. Here, I'm going to pass them to you, Chris.
Yeah.
Snake eggs. And unlike chicken eggs, which are hard on the outside with a shell, snake eggs are leathery. And inside of each egg would be one little baby snakelet. So just like a baby owl is called an owlet, or a baby pig is called a piglet, a baby snake is called a snakelet. And they start out super tiny. I'm going to show you this little baby snake.
If you could see that or not, it's so small.
It's so small. They start out really tiny, and then they'll kind of grow their whole lives. And every time they grow, they shed their skin. And I brought a bowl of snake skin here, and you can actually touch that if you would like to.
Oh.
I've heard that it feels like bubble wrap or candy wrappers, some
pork
people
rinds.
say. Maybe pork rinds, that's a first. It has a really cool feel to it. So just like all reptiles, snakes have dry, scaly skin. And so some people think, ooh, they're slimy, but they're not slimy, they're actually dry. So I'm holding one right now, and he's very nice and dry.
They just have a little sheen to them, right?
A little sheen to them. They're shiny, and they feel cool to the touch because they're not making heat, but they're dry, and they're really cool animals. And so this is the biggest snake that we could find in the wild in Ohio, the gray rat snake. But we also have the smallest snake that we can find in the wild in Ohio. Here, let me put this one back.
Now, this small snake right here, I believe it has a fun name, right?
Yeah, that is the DK's brown snake.
And what's his name?
His name is Willie, and we call him Willie because he is Willie small. Let me get him out so you can see how small.
He is tiny. He's like a little worm.
He's so small. If you saw him in the wild, you might mistake him for a little worm.
Yeah.
For sure. And these guys aren't going to be eating rats and mice like the other one. They're too tiny. So they are going to eat little worms. They eat snails. They actually have special teeth in the back of their mouth that they use to kind of rake the snail out of its shell. And you wouldn't have to be scared if you saw one of these in the wild either. Also not poisonous, not venomous, and I think his mouth is too small to even bite you if he tried.
Yeah, I think so.
But they're very peaceful animals too.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about snakes and what they eat, but what eats snakes? So snakes actually have a lot of predators. A lot of people are scared of snakes, but they're not even the top of the food chain. So raccoons eat snakes, bobcats eat snakes, and birds of prey especially eat snakes. So eagles, hawks, and owls. So I've brought some owls with me today. And next week at the parks, we are having an owl prowl. It's going to be on February 11th and 12th. And that's just where we go out in the forest, kind of at sunset, dusk time, and we go on a hike specifically focused on finding owls. So you can sign up for that on our website at jampd.com, and it's going to be at 6 p.m. at Kendrick Woods. So I hope that you have learned a little bit more about snakes today. Maybe like them a little more than you did before. And if not, maybe you have a new appreciation for owls.
Yeah, well, very nice. Little nature's predators. All right, well, Marie, thanks so much for coming on today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, don't go away because we have more when we return.